Welcome to the Babe Ruth Bucket podcast. I'm your speaker, Liam, and I'm going to be talking today about a couple different subjects. The first subject today is going to be overspending during the holidays. Now, one of the things I get when I'm counseling or doing consulting with people during the holidays for investments or for how to do different investment strategies, people will say, well, how do I continue to invest when I have this big holiday coming up and I got to spend it? And you really, if you think about it, the holidays begin in October because you've got Halloween, yes, and then you have Thanksgiving, yes, and then you have Christmas, of course. So you got all those things, and then if you top it off, then you start your year off with New Year's. So you've got 4 holidays or 4 months in a row that you have to be able to maintain not only what you're doing investment-wise, but you have to spend a little more than you used to. Now, what I tell people is that during those times, if you look at it the way I do, you're still paying your DP&L bill, your electric bill, you're still paying your water bill, you're still paying your phone bill, your cell phone bill. You're still paying for gas. You're still paying for food. So if none of that is changing, then why then should what you're doing financially change? So the best way to handle that circumstance would be to maybe make plans. Like I think one of the things people like to do, or I see people do, is that they will do a Christmas fund or a Christmas savings account, and they'll put so much back, and then they'll have the money, and they won't be scrambling around and that kind of stuff. But I think the reason why it becomes so expensive for individuals is because one reason is they overspend. The second reason is they don't plan. But none of the other things change. And so lots of them, when I'm even training financial planners, they'll say, well, my business is horrible from October till December, so I just don't work. Well, why is that? DP&L doesn't shut down. The grocery stores don't shut down. The car insurance companies don't shut down. Everybody continues to do their normal thing. So I think to me that's just a cop-out. So if your financial planner disappears from October to December, you might want to give Legacy Consultants a call, and we could tell you that we work all the way through the year. But anywho, let's look at setting up a strict budget and how do we do that. And one of the easiest ways to set up a strict budget, and I tell people that make it a flow maybe for yourself or a better flow, is to have a budget to begin with. So if I start the year off, I need to have a budget on what's my electric, what's my phone bills, what's my, expenses for groceries, so forth, so on. And then you want to set up another column. A big part of budget is planning is what do I have left over? If I have more money at the end of the month than I have month, okay, then I'm in a good position. If I have more month at the end of the money, I got a problem. Yes? Okay, so how do we solve that? And budgeting is the best way to do it. And I know that we look at different gurus out there and they say, well, you got to pay everything down, you got to live debt free. Well, if you don't get into debt to begin with, you don't have to worry about that. So you don't necessarily have to have the nicest things out there sometimes. If you wait, you can get those things and not have yourself put in a box. The other thing is that once you get the budget figured out and you are able to strategize on how to spend or how not to overspend, that would probably be the biggest thing. How do I not overspend, right? We have 9 children and 8 grandkids, okay? So when you would think we're pretty stressed out when it comes to the holidays, not only, like I said, Christmas, but Halloween and Thanksgiving and all those other things. But we're not, because we have a budget. We pay so much money on each grandkid. And if our children have grandkids, our children don't get a gift. We might give them something simple like a gift card to someplace to eat or something like that. And that's plenty than enough, right? Because when they grew up, we spoiled the heck out of them, right? So they don't need any more than a $50 gift card to maybe Fleming's or a nice dinner place or something like that, so we're good. My dad taught me a long time ago that sometimes when you're living in like even in the era we're living right now, and I'm not going to say we're in the new normal because life happens to everybody, but sometimes you get a Happy Meal, and sometimes you get a cheeseburger, and you need to be happy with it. Okay, and so I think if you live by those means, you'll be fine. So there's sometimes if the Christmas is tough, maybe you don't do $50 food card to your children. You do a $25 gift card. You can make this work. We do maybe $100, maybe $150 on the grandkids, again, depending on their age, because obviously a 15-year-old, you buy 2 games, you're already into $150 for them, right? But if you pay $150 on a 4-year-old, he could have tons of toys. So again, if you maintain a budget and you do that, I think you'll be in a good spot. The other thing you want to do is avoid the retail tricks during the holiday season. And a lot of times those tricks include things like, where they have you come in for an item that's half price, and then you end up buying that item plus the other items that you came to buy. So, you have to be careful on that kind of stuff. The other thing is tracking every penny. And again, one of the reasons why I do this particular podcast every time during this part of the year, people say, well, what does this have to do with investing? It has a lot to do with investing, because you don't have to stop investing. You don't have to stop protecting your family just because of the holidays. You want to continue to do the things that you were doing, but just do it at a different pace, or do it with a different strategy, or again, set up a budget, correct? All right, so that's where we go. But if you track every penny, if you have a ledger and you watch where the money's going, then you'll understand, okay, exactly what I'm doing wrong or what I'm doing right, okay? And a lot of people don't do that. It doesn't take a whole lot of time to do that. And then you want to go through and you want to make sure you're balancing your checkbook, make sure you're balancing your business book, make sure you're doing those type of things so that you're in a good position when it comes to spending more money, okay? You can't spend money you don't have. Now, people do, okay, and then what does that create? Creates debt. Okay, so we want to be careful with the debt. If you put yourself in a position where you're debt-free, none of these things I'm talking about will matter. Okay, now some people will say, you need to spend for yourself or spend on yourself during the holidays. The only thing I would spend on for myself during the holidays, because I can go down and get anything I want whenever I want. Most of you can do the same. So why would you want to go out and spend something at Christmas time for yourself when you got a bunch of people buying stuff for you anyway? Why don't you take that extra money that you might have and put that in one of your investments? Put it in your 401k, put it in your Roth IRA. Better yet, put it in your Babe Ruth Bucket, okay? So those are the type of things that instead of spending, and they say 60% of people that buy themselves something during the holidays overspend outside of their budget for the holidays. And that makes sense because you shouldn't have been included, but you were. You need to set limits on your spending. A lot of times people don't do that. You can live comfortably and a lot more stress-free if you set a limit. You say, well, I got $2,000 I'm spending for Christmas. I got $500 I'm spending for Christmas. It doesn't matter the amount. Just stay within that budget and you won't have as much stress. And I think if setting limits, during the holidays, do the same thing when on your decorations and your food. I find it amazing to me that people spend almost as much money decorating their houses as they do buying gifts. So, that all should be in one fell swoop. But I want to finish this out with our podcast today. Christmas is fun. New Year's Eve and New Year's is fun. Thanksgiving's fun. Halloween is fun. I understand that. But, those come around every single, time. And I know they change during the years with your kids' ages. Your families, come and go. People live and die. I understand that. But don't change your habit of investing. Don't change your habit of having fun, okay? But just be smart about how you do it. If you have any other questions, you can call us at 1-866-848-7688. We'll help you with a budget, or you can see us at Legacy Consultants LLC at our webpage, lci-taxfreeretirement.com. That should go across the screen as well. And again, if you need to talk to me or have me come out and speak or do anything for you, I'm open at any time. Again, this has been the Babe Ruth Bucket Hour. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you next time.